Alright, so that should be a lot better now. Alright. Yeah. Yep, there we go. Everything seems good. How to and style. Alright. Let me listen to that real quick. Alright, that should be good. Let's go and open up Spotify real quick so we can get at least Spotify up and running. Well, actually, no, let's not run Spotify this time. Yeah, everything looks to be running good. Got chat open and stuff. Alright. So, my title says we're doing paint.net. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Fatal Freeze Gaming. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to the stream, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy. My name is MrUnlimited, one of the team members here at Fatal Freeze Gaming, and today we're going to be doing paint.net. Now, I do have a couple of things already pulled open here. So today we are going to be making something similar to this. This is another piece of art that I have made in the past, or well, within the past week. So we're going to be seeing what we can do with this. Now, today we're just going to be making an Instagram-sized photo, or art, so you can call it. Which Instagram, the max you can upload is 1080 by 1080. So we'll go ahead and make our canvas. I like to just delete, so that way we start off with a basic setup here. Now, as far as a background photo goes, I'm not exactly sure what we are going to use. I do have a bunch of resources here that we can do, just different games. Like we have space photos here, random photos, skulls, different things we can do here. Just about anything related to games. This is just like my artwork directory, so to speak. So for this little outline, I'm wanting to make that a little bit smaller. So maybe cut that in half, maybe, or maybe do a border, full border. If I could do like a border where the center photo is like popping out, so to speak, we can. So we got these as borders. I'm not exactly sure if I know what I'm gonna do with this. That's gonna be one of the last photos. We may put some text. This is really good graphics for text. That's just you'll find out what we do with that later. As far as a border, they can maybe something to do with that, or like this. So let's go ahead and pop up Google, and let's just type in 1920 1080 HD backgrounds, images. And let's just see what we can find that we enjoy, so to speak, or that we can work with. Since we're already going to be going with a space theme already, we don't really want to do space. We want something that we can edit pretty good. That's not too edited, too much, so to speak. Not exactly sure what we should do here, but we'll figure it out. That's the main process when it comes to editing stuff like this, is trying to find decent background artwork. So let me see what I have in my directory right now. We could do something mysterious or mystical. Let me go ahead and just minimize that right now. Let me upload a couple photos here to see what we can do editing wise. This one right here is my favorite to do, so we may do something more along the lines with that particularly. Let me do that. Let me go and double check the audio is good. Let's see. Should be good, shouldn't it? I believe so. We've dropped a couple frames. I'm not exactly sure why. And running. Let's go live. Something more along the lines with that particularly. Alright, let me check my OBS settings real quick. Doing that, yeah, that's about good. Alright, that should be right about right, how I want it, so to speak. For now though, we can go ahead and keeps on dropping frames. I'm not exactly sure why it's dropping frames. Let me try bumping up the, let me try changing the bit rate real quick. Ooh, how does that do? Alright, that bumps it up quite a bit. Let me try to change it one more time real quick. Alright. Is it wanting to work? It's just gradually losing a bunch of frames, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. Why it's losing frames so much, so to speak. That worries me. Let's go ahead and just toss it back to what it was for bit rate. It's saying it's running bad. It's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I've streamed this before and had no issues with it before, so I'm not exactly sure what it is. However, let me go ahead and just stop the stream real quick. Let me switch over to something else. Oh, okay. I think I may have found out the reason why it was having issues. Maybe I didn't have to stop streaming yet. Alright, so we're back. We should be back. We should be trying something a little bit different. Stream resumed. Yep, there we go. Alright, we should be back. Stream should be resumed. It's so far going good based on this. Based on what it's doing. Yep. It's all good. That's all good. Everything's running smooth so far. Let me go ahead and load up to live and let me just go ahead and double check that real quick. Make sure everything's. Let me swap between some pictures to double check that it's running good. Should be running good. Should have everything that we need to continue this. Yeah, it's running perfect. So, alright, let me pause the video. Play back. There we go. Alright, back into this. Sorry about that, guys. Shouldn't have an issue now. It's not. I'm not getting any frame drops or anything. I went back to, for some reason my OBS Studio's bugged, I'm guessing. I went back to OBS Classic, which I normally use to do recordings because I have a little bit more freedom on that part. But so let's go ahead and work on with one of these. That one's too orange for what we want to do. That one's a little bit too dark for what we want to do. That one's going to be too small. We probably will use up that one. Yeah, let's go with this one right here. So what we're going to do is, with the background, we're just going to leave background transparent. Now we always have the first layer transparent, because sometimes you want to do is you want to do a color or something where you deselect everything. So we'll go ahead and increase the size of that. Now let's put him. Let's put him. I don't really want to put him too far down. Let's see. Alright. Let's go ahead and just put him right there. Let's move it up as much as we can. Alright. Let's go ahead and center him. Let's say center would be roughly 1080, so that'd be what, 540? We are right here. Yeah, right there. Let's get him. Let's go and leave him right there. Let's see. What is it saying? Alright. Orange stream health. That's fine. Alright, so that's good. We got that layer. Now always make sure to create a whole nother layer. Now, since we're not going to be using this for, well, we'll go and leave it open. Typically, I close it out, but we'll move it over here since we are done with that photo for right this second. So what we're going to do is now we're going to mess around with sizes. So we'll go ahead and do File, New. We want the height, the height to be, that's the one we're going to change. So let's try 150 for now. And let's change the width to 1080 because this is going to be for our border, which we want the width to stay the same so that way it matches the sides, of course, and the height is what will change. So let's go ahead and just start off with a black one for now. Black document. Copy with that with Control C, and we'll paste that above. Alright, so that gives us a little bit of a border. Let's go on to create another layer. Layer, flip, vertical. So that gives us what that's going to give off as a black layer. And for example, so if we were to move this up to about right there, that kind of blends in just enough to make it look decent for that part. I think that's actually just right of a layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the black layers there, but we're going to create another layer on top of that, because the black layers is what we're going to do. That's how you get that shadow right there, which we can do. We may change it up because I do have some more tools. Every piece that has a puzzle piece next to it is a new tool, or a tool I can use. Like this glow, that's what I've been using a lot lately. But now we have a drop shadow, which, for example, we now have colors. So we can have a shadow color. That's a new tool, or a new kit, so to speak, that I picked up. So we'll go ahead and we'll leave that right there for more tampering, because we need that same size. So pretty much we're going to be working on two different documents. This one is only going to be so we can modify this, that way the size stays the same. So now we got to figure out what we want to do for the border. What I was thinking is, first off, start off with something like this as a baseline. So we'll go ahead and lower that accordingly. Let's do that about right there. That looks good. And this is also where you can kind of play around with some effects on this particularly, so that way you're not doing it on here before you copy and paste. So for example, how I darken some of this is over here. For example, you paint it black. Now you would think, okay, well, then you just got rid of the image. Since we have two layers, we can go down here to layer properties and we can change the opacity. So you can make it where it's none, where that layer is pretty much non-existent, all the way dark. Since that is kind of bright, we do want to darken it just a little bit. We'll do about 92. That will work. Now you can always just say you want to add like a blue effect. We'll do that blue for now. Same deal. That there. Let's go with 58. We can swap these. See, if you put blue on top, it looks too over blue. Put the black layer on top, it gives it more of that darker blue vibe. It gives it a little bit better. Now we're probably not going to rock with this. Like I said, this is just kind of like a baseline example. And then now's time we can also experiment with this type of stuff. This is kind of just a full experimental project, so to speak, right here. So once again, get that. Doesn't have to be that size for this, because you're not really looking for that. Alright, do that, and then we could try tossing on the black layer. Darkens it a little bit. That looks good. Toss the blue layer on. That's a bit too much blue. So we could try and mess around with the opacity some more. Say 34. That looks good. That doesn't make it too light, too dark either. And then this is something else you just keep. This is how you figure out your background image, which one will work better. So now the question is, do you want to include some of the city, or do you want to include the stars, or how do you want to include it? So like for example, if we leave that full roughly, we can do just the stars. Mind you, this is going to be on both, so you gotta make it look like something that's good for both angles. So like for example, that would look good on both sides. Now I don't want to use the same because I've already used it. And then same for this one. That would look decent for both sides, but not overall, so to speak. What I mean by not necessarily overall is because this it's just iffy. So we can go ahead and we can close that out because we're 100% not going to be using that image just because we can't find that sweet spot, so to speak. Now this, we're going to move that over because I got some ideas for this particular image. So kind of out of these two for a border. Since we are doing that, we're doing kind of like a spatial border. It kind of would match a little bit, but let's go ahead and uncheck that first. Let's see what we can do over here, so to speak. So we'll go ahead and paste that. And since now that, we'll just do layers, flip vertical. Now we'll paste it one more time over here. There we go. Now you want to do 2 different layers for everything. Just do as many layers as possible because it's just better that way. Because if we were to edit this layer, edit that layer, combine them, or even if we were to say, like, for example, combine all of them, whenever we start editing it, one layer is going to be lighter or something's just, it seems to glitch out sometimes. Now plus it's just more organized that way. While we're editing these red stuff, if we don't like it, we can just toss it out and not have to remake these black layers for the actual border, so to speak. So let's see what we can do for editing. So you're gonna have multiple layers, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll experiment with the bottom layer first because that's the more important one. So what you're going to do is how do I say it? So you're not going to be doing that necessarily. You're going to be going over here, and this is where you'll copy that layer from, and then, for example, paste. Now layers. All right, no, actually, we're gonna work on the top layer for now, because since it automatically copies it there. Now I believe we had it on 50s and 60s, but that's a bit too much. So we'll do about 34, I believe. Now let's go and just do the exact same for the black one. Copy, paste, go back to transparent or opacity. Let's give that more of 120 opacity. Now that is for these top ones. So that looks really, really good for now. So let's go over here. Effects, photo, glow. Glow gives it more of a dark glow. So we want the radius all the way up, brightness, all that, contrast all the way up. So that gives that. Control V or Control F, Control F, Control F. Now instead of doing Control F, you can always just do repeat glow, but Control F makes it there, but a little bit better. So now it kind of looks like that's popping out, which isn't necessarily what we want. So for now, we'll go and deselect that, and now what we're going to do is we're going to make a layer above, or how should we do this? So to speak, we'll go and make a layer above all these, and we'll go ahead and copy this. Well, actually, we'll go ahead and, what the hell happened to our image? Why is it over some? Don't like that. We're gonna have to broaden it out more. There we go. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're going to, since we've got our section, so to speak, it's already gonna be moved, right? Let's go ahead and just get this all aligned. There we go. And now let's purposely select this. Now when messing with another layer, we're going to go ahead and copy this. That way we can go up here, paste down this, and not have to worry about it. So there we go, we've got the copy. Now we just gotta align it appropriately. So hold shift, line it up, boom, move it over. Alright, move it over, keep going, boom. Now it should be all lined up, perfect. So let's go ahead and create some more layers here. Let's go and create 2 more layers, and we will copy this one, put that there, and copy this one and put that there. Now what we need to do is layers, flip vertical, layers, flip vertical. What is going on? Why is it like that? I do not like that. That's even an issue up there. So why is it like that? That's weird. Alright, so we're gonna have to redo these layers right here. We're just gonna have to redo the coverage of them. But for now, that's fine. We can, for some reason, they're janked, so we go ahead and just delete those two layers because we'll mess with it more. Delete that layer. We may use this for later on within the road of the live stream, but for now we're not going to. So once again, we'll select our most upper image because we want this to look like it's floating, so to speak. So what we'll do is we'll go photo glow. But now this is where you can't do this because there's a lot. Brightness does play a factor in the contrast. So if you have contrast all the way down, it does that. Sometimes if you have contrast all the way up, it'll do that glow effect. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and try it with contrast up. Now these you really have to be touchy with, so I recommend going back in the glow to make sure it's doing its thing. Now second time you should know, should be good. Let's add one more glow. So now it kind of looks like it's on top. Now here, a little bit. Let me pull up another photo of what exactly we're trying to accomplish, if I can figure out where that photo is. Alright, this is a Fatal Freeze Gaming logo that a lot of you guys are, so to speak, used to looking at now, or getting used to. Now it looks like that's floating, and the reason why is because it has the white outline and then off shadow behind it. So which we don't really want to do a white outline because that's just, I don't know, it look bordered with it would look different on this specific photo. We want it to kind of blend in, so to speak. Because it does look like that's truly dropped back. Now I believe once we edit the red part, it will look a lot better, so to speak. But this is just experiment. This won't be the final little bit. We'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and start messing with this. Let's go ahead and redo it. Let's go with blue. Let's go with black. Alright, now let's deselect that. Opacity, let's go about 34-ish. And then let's go about, that's 0. Go with about 58 or 71. That looks okay, but that's a little bit too much blue still. Boom. Alright. Now let's toss the black on. Alright, a little bit too dark. Oh, wrong one. Rip. Cancel. Is that right? Yep. Yeah. Select. It's a little bit too dark. Alright, let's go with 36. Okay. Now, uncheck blue. See, it doesn't make a big difference if you uncheck blue. We can actually probably make that a little bit darker. Let's go with 51. Alright, that looks decent on my end. So we gotta get these numbers. So 24. Let's go on Control Z that. Alright. So go ahead and make a whole nother 2 layers. Go on layer 8, paste. Okay, now 54 was where it was, I believe. We're going to do 58 for just this moment, and we'll go and double check. 24, I was way off. Alright, we're going to specifically type it in, 24. Click OK. There we go. Now, we go back over here. Select the black. Control C. Control V, and then let's go back here. Let's go and get that. That's 51. So we'll go and just type that in. 51. Enter. There we go. Now, see how it looks good? It blends in, offsets it, so to speak. So now we gotta do the exact same. So we got 4 layers for just that. Now let's go ahead and start with the bottom set. So we got up 2 layers. Let's go ahead and just recopy this one. Okay. There we go. Let's go layers. Flip vertical. There we go. Let's go over here and get the black one. Once again, Control C, Control V, layers, flip vertical. There we go. Let's deselect layer 11. Go back here. This was 24 because we want everything to be identical. This one was 51 for the black image. So we're going to just backspace it all. 51. Enter. There we go. We now have that. We want to leave this here. We don't really need it, but just in case if we do have issues later down the road, we have that. Main reason why we also have the background just for future things. So now we'll go ahead and we'll do this. Let's go ahead and black that out as well. Let's go ahead and just lower this just some, because that picture's already so bright. Layer 9 is. So we're focused. Alright, now see, from that point you can already see it's over the whole image, which isn't what we want. So what we gotta do is we gotta deselect that so it's not all over. Reselect the area we want to darken, which would be layer 9. And then with layer 9 selected, there we go. That is when we will go ahead and select that. Select it. Control C. And then we'll escape, boom, delete, Control V. So now we have that selected with the perimeters there. And then from there we will go to transparency or opacity. So let's go and zoom in some, drag that over. Now let's go and start with 0 and slowly add it. So 86 is already a bit too much. We probably would say 45. That may be what we want. Now we gotta deselect it because something, oh, I see why. We completely cut this image from existence. That kind of upsets me that it did that. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna Control C to fucking get that back to where it was, because I messed up somehow. Alright. Oh, I know exactly what I messed up on. Control Z, boom. Because, okay, yeah. Let's deselect that because I pasted it over that. That's why I messed up. Alright, let's go back to, because remember this is the one that has that black glow on it. So, once again, that's why we keep that extra image. Damn it. Alright, there we go. So now, while that's selected, Control C. Okay. Now, we'll just go ahead and press escape, select the whole image, while selecting this layer, delete, and then Control V. So there we go. We now have that over it. We're going to select it so it's on. We're still selected on layer 12. Now, let's go back to it. And now we got that glow back. So 66 is just about right. Let's lower it just to 56. Okay, so that's good. We still got the background white. I mean, not white, but light enough, so to speak. And we got that dark, which is what we want. Now, we could use a little bit less blue. So we're going to bump that down to 17 on both of them. Because, yeah, it's a lot better. Because we still want that little bit of blue undertone, so to speak. Come on. Alright, drop that. There we go. Now with the bottom layer black, we could probably bump that up just a hair. Is it not even gonna do anything? Oh no, that's the underlayer. Is it? No, that's the overlayer. Why is it? So confused. Oh, I have it. Wait, why are they D? Why is all these D? Okay. That doesn't make sense exactly. Why was it? Okay. What is that? 17. Okay. Something. I feel like something's off. What is this at? 51. Okay. What is this one at? 51. 17. Alright, let's go ahead and go to this. Let's darken this up just some still. We'll do 64. Seems good. Now these should be full. Yep. Okay, so we'll do 61. Or 64 is what I did, right? I believe 64. So I'll double check. 64. Alright, now that looks a whole lot better. That's not too blue. You can still see the blue a little bit, like for example on the top. Yeah, see the blue still is there. Now take off everything. Gives you that red. That blue gives you that brightness a little bit. And then that darkens down just a little bit more. So it gives you a little bit that extra. So we've got it. It looks like it's over it. Now let's go and double check this. Let's go and darken it just a hair more. Let's go 75. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to go back to where I was. Edits. We're gonna load up the actual full edit of this photo. That way we can go ahead and just look at it for visual reference. So as you can see, here we're making the image float. Here we're making the image drop back. So that's what we have here. And it doesn't take as much layers. However, up we had to have more layers. One thing I did not do here though is I did lower the opacity of this, which is what we should do actually yeah, because it looks more drop back. So let's go, plus 255 is a bit more. Let's do 193. That looks really good. Once I gotta sneeze. Alright guys, hold up. And we are back. Alright. So we gotta lower this. What was that? What did we lower it to? 193. Alright. Let's go ahead and just 193, enter. There we go. So now it looks like it's popped out just a bit more. We could actually probably lower this a bit. Let's lower it to 54. Yeah, that looks a lot better, especially up here. Alright, so looking at this, like we said, we have it different. Now looking back at this, which let's go ahead and actually pull up this full edit as well. Why not? While we have it up. So close that out. Pull this. This is the full edit for both of those. So alright. So now how I made it, I forget exactly what I did. Let's see, where is it? What was layer 9? Layer 9 is the outline. And see how big of a factor outline plays a factor in it. Here, yeah, you can't really see the corner of the G's as much. It doesn't really pop out. I mean, it does with the shadow, but not a whole lot. With the outline, it looks more, it gives that 3D effect, so to speak. Now, whenever I take off the spots, you can kind of see like more of a blur to the back, because that's more of, has to do with this specific picture. Which is kind of what I'm thinking of doing for, if I can figure out exactly what I did for it, I want to do that for the upper part of it, so to speak. So with that being said, we are going to select the upper part for testing. Oh, not let me do that. Alright. Did I get it right? Nope, just about. Let's just do that. Boom. Alright. Select that on a whole nother layer. Effects. We can try a couple different things. So there's the vignette, which we don't want to do. There is a blurs. We got some blurs over here. Don't know what a whole lot of these different blurs are, so let's go and just do average blur. That doesn't do shit. Well, then again, we don't have. Let's try it with it. Let's try it with that selected. Blur, average blur. Okay. Jeez, just that right there hurts my eyes. I don't know. 4 is a bit much. 3, 2, because we got 0. So I'm just up 1 by 1. 3 is where it first actually hits as a blur in my eyes. 2, not so much. 3, yeah, 4. How does that look? That looks okay. Let's dial it back 1. Not sure if I like that. About 2. Let's give it a slight 2 blur. Let's just effects, blur. Let's do 2. Alright, we'll go ahead and just give that a slight blur so that way it's got that. Now this is all just post edits, really. Now I do have an idea of what we're gonna do with this, so we're gonna see what we can do. Let's make a whole nother layer. So just, yep, make that. Let's lower that because we don't want it on the full experience, so to speak. Okay. Now is when we just maximize it for the bottom part. Alright. So I'll move it down just some. Alright, now since the upper is more bright, finish that. Up 1. There we go. Alright, we can deselect it. Boom. That already looks decent with the outlines. So, we're going to, once again, with the opacity, we're going to see what we can do with this. Now, this is just a thought. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I don't know how I like that. I don't know if I do like that or not. And no, it's not appearing as I was gonna think it was. As I thought it was gonna appear. But we definitely do need this. You'll see that. Alright, now this is all going to be almost top layer stuff. We didn't do anything to that, did we? What was that layer? That was nothing. So I'm going to delete that. Alright, so with those, the shadow, we'll say, is a shadow. That's going to be over these, so we'll go and make 2 of those, and then 2 over this bottom one, empty stuff. So let's go and start off with the bottom layer. Can't quite see it right there, but we're going to go ahead and just do it like that. Put it, that'll work. Bump it up 1. Let's go ahead and just, doesn't have to be, now this I'm not doing even. With these I don't like doing even, just because it all depends on the corner. So like there's more dark over here, so you still want a little bit light, more dark light over here, yada yada yada. Let's fade that in a little bit more. There we go. Now this is all just kind of personal touch, so that way it kind of just gives it more. With those 4 corners now, they're not even, and that's the point. But they draw your eye more on him, more on the centerpiece, which is, for every photo, it's what's in the center. What are you mainly capturing within the centerpiece? So that's pretty much what that whole effect is. Now what you can do is you can also below the photo, we'll go and add one more layer. Now we can bring that up more, kind of make sure the bottom gets a little bit of it, just kind of give it more of a dark feel. But you gotta kind of play around and not give it too much of a dark feel. You may need to increase it a little bit more. Okay, yep. Increase it a tad bit more. I think that looks good. Boom. So there we go. We've got that. It's pretty much done at this point. It does take a lot of layers just to accumulate what we want. Now, if we were to take off the blue, see, it's still, we want that blue effect, or else it's just still too red right down there. So with that blue effect, it does add a bit more. Now, once again, you don't really need this. This is more of a save of, that way you have the exact border. That way, for example, in case you mess up like I did with the photo, you have it here. That's why we closed it out up here, is so that way we have it here for future. Now, since we did do so much effects with this size, I didn't close this out. Now, if you're only doing a couple, you can close it out and just, once again, just go here, copy, select, redo it. But since we did the blue and black, it's a whole lot easier to do it from here and copy and paste and then redo the opacity levels. Now, this, I would say this took, what, about an hour to make just this. Now, it's not a whole lot special. This is more of like just different things. Now, you could add more over here, more detail. With, say do the bottom, but do it all around, so to speak. You could. And to be honest, that wouldn't be that difficult actually at all. But I'm afraid of how that would look. What we're gonna do is, now that we have this, we're going with that style that we just said. So let's go ahead and just make a whole nother 1080 by 1080. But for now, we're gonna leave this open, but let's go and delete this. I'm gonna grab myself a drink real quick, and I'll leave that up for just a little bit longer. I'll be right back. I'm gonna toss some shares for the stream as well as yeah, going to get me a drink and stuff. So I will be back momentarily. Alright, boys, I am back. I'm tossing out some quick tweets and sharing of the sorts, so to speak. So if you will give me a moment. Gotta load up this real quick, reload up Twitter, get some sharing going on real quick. Alright. Let's go ahead and one sec. Alright. We've got that taken care of now. Let me do one more share real quick. If it will. Alright, that's fine. Alright. Should be all good now. Let me go ahead and just take a drink. So, if you guys do want to see more, because we are going to have this video up. So, if you are watching this as a video, you can go and skip around and stuff. If you have more questions on how I did that, or where I got some of the plugins that I use, or some of the photos, or how do I do specific things within this live stream, feel free to leave a comment down below asking the particular question. And I can feel free to do more in-depth tutorials, whether it's on this channel or on my personal channel. Personal channels for the entire team, not only myself, but also Mr. Grande Macho himself, as well as Dragonic Overlord, Zach and Andrew. Their channels will be linked down below of all the live streams, videos, etc. If we do fail to put them down there, or they somehow disappear or whatever, just go ahead and ask, as well as our Discord link is down below, so feel free to join our Discord, and through there you can ask questions, get more direct feedback. We can join a call with you and talk to you directly about how we do certain things, whether it's through OBS. Grande Macho, he knows quite a bit about that. He's probably our strongest person within OBS. Paint.net, feel free to come ask me questions. It's my strongest suit here. As well as other questions just throughout video gaming. Feel free to ask the community. This is a growing community, so you can always just invite your friends if you think they'll like it as well. If you have questions about just tech related things, bring it to us. We'll all give you our opinions. I'm going to school currently as IT. We'll do a video later on this channel talking more in depth about each team member. So there'll be about 3 videos coming on later down the road. I don't have an exact time, but within our last live stream we did talk about it. Me and Andrew did, Grande Macho, about that. So I'm gonna record a video. They're gonna record a video on their own about what their story is, about their channel, about themselves, about their strong suits, weak suits, whatever. They're going to tell you more about their video, and they're going to edit it, and they're going to upload it, so you'll see their editing style, how they do it, and so on. So let's go ahead and get back into this. If you're watching this as a video, once again, and you're stuck this far through it, I do thank you so much for supporting me as well as Fatal Freeze Gaming with this. We do this because we love creating content. We love entertaining. So this just so happens to be something that I personally enjoy. So once again, we've got this image here. We're going to do something similar with this, but this time we're going to do it with all the borders around. We're not going to mess with this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and save this as... go and drag that over here. Whoops, wrong thing. I got so many folders. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go and save that under my own. We'll just do I'm not even sure what we'll call this. We'll call this just FFG live stream as the edit. Now we're not gonna render this out at all. Not yet at least. We have the edit saved from this point, but we're gonna go from here. You guys saw how we did this from scratch. Now I'm trying to debate on where I want to go from here for this next half of the live stream, so to speak. So we've got two different things. Now this right here did take me quite a while because I had to get everything lined up perfectly. Now you guys, some of those who have noticed or have followed my work personally, I've made multiple different graphics for other people. My graphics for myself aren't the best, but I made plenty of other graphics for other people, such as YouTube thumbnails, lettering, 3D lettering, as well as what we have for FFG. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead. We're just going to make something like this, like I said. So we're going to, this time, we're going to once again copy this and paste it. No. We're going to delete that. We are going to use this one, the original. That way we don't have the shadow or any additives to it. Now, if you did notice, I messed up on my end. Now, you don't have to do this, but this is just what I do. So we'll go ahead and make 2 copies of this. That way we can have the editable one, and then our bottom layers are resources, so to speak, within it. So we do have this here, but what we're going to do is we're going to make a whole nother file of 1080 by 1080. Now this one's going to be specifically 4 layers. We're only gonna need 4 layers, so whoops, messed up. Alright, so it's only need 4 layers, and we're going to be dealing with this. So we can go ahead right now, we're just going to delete those, and we're going to take this. So we're going to see what we can do with it. So we'll do this, we'll go layers, flip vertical. Then we'll do this top layer, boom. Alright, now here's where the tricky part comes in. So we got this, but can't use it. The reason why we can't use it is because flipping it, if we were to rotate it, it's not gonna fit the entire path, so to speak, which you can see. Well, actually, it may actually, yeah, it will because it's 1080 by 1080. But the thing is, how is it going to, so to speak, look? It's not really gonna blend in, or will it? Take that back. It will blend in down here, not fully. So with that being said, we gotta delete that. We just got to. As well as these, we gotta delete. Because we just gotta use this whole thing. So we're going to copy this. Now we're gonna use 5 layers. Now we got the base layer, which we'll go ahead and do this. We're going to expand it some. Alright. Base layer, there's not a whole lot of shadows showing as much as overall. So now what we need is we need to go ahead and we're gonna make a 6th layer. Now we're going to color this black. Oh well, I'm already messing up, aren't I? So make a whole nother one. We're gonna do that. So now we can go and just delete that, and we're going to copy it. Now with this one, we're going to go here. Now we're going to click here, delete. But that's what we would do if we were trying to make a box, so to speak, in the center. But instead, we're going to leave that, and we're going to do it like this: image, layer. Well, what? Dang it! I'm messing up, boys. I'm messing up. So flip vertical. I flipped horizontal. Rip. All right. So now we got those. So let's go and merge them, so that way it's all one layer. So now we're going to do the same, but instead we're going to copy here, and we're going to make it a full block up and down. Now we just got to line it up, make sure it's all lined up. boom, escape, boom. Now we can, once again, copy that, make a whole nother layer, paste it, layer, flip horizontal, there we go. Now we can merge all 4 of those layers. So, that's what we want. But, what we want, since we have the exact part, we're going to get that highlighted. With that being said, with that highlighted, go here, and I messed up a little bit, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold control, make a whole nother deal, add it onto it. So, and since we overtook it some, we are going to have to redo it. So, we've got that corner correct. And now, let's go and double check. Boom. So, we've got that. Now, we select that layer. Since we've got it selected, delete. So, now, we technically don't need that black layer, but we're going to go ahead and keep that black layer for a reason. So, now we're wanting this to pop out more. That image. So, we've got that. We're not going to be using this one because it's just pain to copy over. So we're going to go ahead and just copy that. But here's where the difficult thing is. So we need to put it down there. Let's go ahead and delete this. Once again, have a blank copy. Boom, and a blank copy. And what did I just do? Control Z. I have no clue what the hell I just now did. So, now, with this, we are going to have to, boom, we're going to delete, and then we're going to need, alright, no, we're just going to do this. Boom, no, what, why did, alright, there we go. And delete. So we're going to select, Control C, no, Control C on this layer. Then we are going to select delete, Control V. So that way they're both there. So that way now we can take that, put that on top, so that way any effects we do will be done with that. But here's the trick. With that, we're going to do this. So that way we don't have to necessarily mess with that photo, which we should have done it on the other one as well. Made it look a little bit easier or a little bit better. Once again, we're going to select it. And with that being selected, we're going to paint that black. I painted it blue. Black. So that way, whenever we go do the glow effects, photo glow, we're not going to have that brightness issue. So now it's just going to be high contrast, and we're just going to keep doing it. Keep doing it. Let's do one more. Boom. Well, what about one more? Nope, we'll stay back a notch. So, it already looks like that. But, we got to go ahead and go over. We can now deselect the shadow. We've already got the shadow good. Now, we want a whole nother thing. We want 3 as a size. We're going with this outline right here. So we're going to be outlining the image to make it more 3D. So we may have to mess with the shadows just a bit more, but that's fine. But here we are just going to be doing the outline. So if you don't want to sit through this, go ahead and fast forward. Yeah. Alright. Now we may up the outline a little. Not entirely sure on how I want to do that. And when I say up the outline, we may up the size. Alright. There we go. Now let's go and toggle that back on. It already looks like it's popping out some, which is good. So, just for added effect, you don't have to do it, but we're going to hit Control F back on that black little segment just 3 times. That way that's good. Alright, now we're going to definitely need another layer. below it. Now this one is going to be painted black. And what we're going to do is we're going to opacity. And we're going to darken it some. 81. That's what we want. Boom. There we go. Now with this one we can lower the opacity just a little bit of the red. We'll do 191. Boom. So now once again we have these 4 layers. Now they're all empty. Those were originally supposed to be for these, but we can do something a little bit different. So we can go ahead and close this out because we don't need it. We can go and close this out because we don't need it. That, not exactly sure why we still have that open. Alright, so now this is where the fun little part comes in play. So we have these two. I can already tell you I enjoy this one a whole lot better. Now this one, it looks good, but it wasn't the 3D effect as I would have thought. This one was perfect. It bounced it, like it looked pushed back, like it was pushed back more than what you would think. This one I liked it. It looks 3D more. We don't need this anymore though. So whenever I get an idea for art, it takes many trials, many different rough drafts, and I consider this a rough draft. That's why I've saved it as a edit for it. This, however, this is the more beneficial. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna Control V and get that in. Now, as you can tell, it's going over because I've pasted it on the wrong layer. That's the outline layer. That gets tricky whenever you're not watching things. So we'll go ahead and go here. That's where we want to be. Boom. Because that way it's not overfucking it. Now, we can add the shadow, but it's adding over the overlaying picture. So what we want to do is we want to take that, drop it down. So we're going to drop that with all these layers. Oh, my bad. Let's go Control V. There we go. Get that good. Control V once again. Nice effect. God dang it. Control V once again. Nice effect. Now I do love these dots because it gives us that effect. Now we'll do Control V one more time. This time broaden it. And put that pretty much right in the middle. Just about. Now, one thing I want to try is adjustments. There should be a auto center thing where it'll just center it for you. Photo, object align, center both. Boom. Now, let's up it a little bit more. Effects, object align, center both. It's not centering it. I don't like that. Effects, come on. Center both. Object, is it not going to work? Center horizontally. Effects, object align, center vertically. Okay, so it's not wanting to work. Why is it not wanting to work? I downloaded it thinking it was going to work. That's not really a good thing. That's not really wanting to work. Alright, let's increase it some. Boom. Boom. That's good. It's not too dark anywhere, not too light anywhere. Just right. It's maybe a little bit too light over there, but that gives it more of a good feel. Now, I understand that we do have the dark pattern over here, but this gives it more of a different feel, so to speak. Now, this is a bit too bright, in my opinion. So we are going to add a layer, make it black, not white. We want it darker. Once we find the ideal darkness, we'll take out the dark in the back. Okay, there we go. Now we will take out the darkness. Delete. There we go. Just so that way we won't have to worry about an issue with it being overbearingly dark on the border. As you can tell, there it actually had a definitive line with how dark it was. And delete. So there we go. So now we can always, once again, mess with it, make it a little bit lighter by doing that, or make it a little bit darker. So we still want it to go enough lightness, but we don't want it to be as light. So 24 is good, because we still want it to be the center of attention, so we don't need that. And personally, it's a bit brighter than this. I do admit we did make it a little bit too dark, but it's looking a whole lot better. And this right here took not as much time as this, mainly because we had, what took so long was getting everything lined up. We were testing things, seeing how we wanted to go about it. So overall, with this being a rough draft and this being a final product, it took us roughly a little over an hour to make that. And what's up, Andrew? Sorry if I didn't see that as earlier. On my screen it literally just popped up. I don't know if you just sent it or what, but what's good? So yeah, this is pretty much a final project of what this was. Now, as seeing in this, we put quite a bit of layers. However, over here we didn't put as many layers because we didn't need as many, because we kind of knew what to do. I don't really find an incorporation for this unless we put some lettering over here, but I really can't think of any lettering for this, so we'll go and save this as an edit. Let's see. Alright, let me reopen this real quick. Edits. Where did that save to? There it is. Alright. Resource. Okay, so pretty much that's that. Later on I will be doing a live stream, not tonight specifically, but next weekend I may do a live stream within Paint.net. Once again, I'm not exactly sure if it's going to be to Fatal Freeze Gaming or to my channel. However, it will be of making something similar to this or something more 3D. So this week we did do this over this live stream, which does have a little bit of a definitive outline. So if you guys do have a special photo you want to broadcast or share, that this is a way you could do it through Paint.net. And see, if we were to take off that, it gives it a little bit brightness, but we wanted a little bit more. Now we could have always went and did hue and saturation, in which could have lowered it, darkness, lightened, whatever. I personally don't like doing that. I understand it's an option, but I'd rather have a layer where I still have the original. Unedited and stuff, but then a layer over it. Now, like I said, it's the same way with these. I like having the original just in case, because sometimes I do make a update to this, like on the other one, how it had the drop shadow. Now we could have, if we truly wanted to, we could have, instead of doing that, so to speak, we could effects photo. Is it photo? Object drop shadow. Now we could have done something like that. We could have done blue, for example, widening radius, just different drop shadow for it, which is a new tool I got, which that actually looks decent. Say if we did it in red, that would actually look pretty good. That's not that bad actually, but I'm not going to mess with it anymore. That does make it look more 3D, but I'm not going to mess with it. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and go back to that. And I want to try, what does that look like if it was a black drop shadow? Like, since it drops on the inside more. That actually doesn't look too bad. But, that does kind of fuck with the border just a little bit. But, we're going to go ahead and just leave that as that is. And we're going to go ahead and end the stream here, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Once again, these graphics are made by me, MrUnlimited. You guys can check out my channel down below, as well as the rest of the team, such as Andrew, Grande Macho, and Dragonic Overlord, which is Zach. We all have our own special niches and stuff, and we all are trying to grow our separate channels, as well as we're focused more onto this channel as of right now, growing this community. And if you guys do have any questions, Discord link is down below, as well as the comment section is open to anything. Occasionally, if you guys do choose to drop down into the Discord, we do have a general chat where you can just ask questions, or if you have ideas for videos or live streams, you can go ahead and drop those down in the ideas section. Now, Discord is probably going to be the quickest way to get any of our responses. Yeah, we all read the comments, and we all respond to them. Each of us will respond to certain ones. Sometimes if somebody else has already answered and said what we would say, we won't. But Discord, that's when you'll get the team's opinion together as a whole. So once again, guys, it's been real. Peace. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that share button. Questions are always going to be answered in live streams, no matter what. Whether it's a no, yes, or a full descriptive question, live streams are where to get it. Live streams are going to be Sunday and Saturdays, and the occasional Friday nights if we are feeling it. If you guys do choose to subscribe, make sure to hit that ding dong, that bell. That way you can get all the notifications for our channel. Our schedule right now for uploading is mainly Monday and Fridays. Now, if you guys do request more, we are doing personal recordings, personal uploads. We're gonna start doing. Now, those aren't mandatory. Those aren't like those aren't set schedules. That is, if you wanna upload a video, go ahead. It'll help our team, so that way you guys can get to know the team better. That day is specifically Wednesday. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are our off days. Every other day, look forward to something. Also, our Twitter, Instagram, and social media links are down below. Enjoy. Peace.